play. Happy Sunday, folks. Right, today I'm going to tell you a tale. A tale of two men who walked into a gym. Now, these men are exactly the same in every single way. They are identical twins. They're the same height, they're the same weight, the same age, they share the same DNA. They're even wearing the same clothes and they've got the same Apple Watch on and Whoop band. They're both following the exact same 12-week training program, the same exercises, the same rep range, the same sets. They're equally strong and they lift the same weights. They train at the same time in the same gym on the same days. And they just train together. They're training partners, okay? But at the end of the 12 weeks, one of them looks like a Greek god and one of them has barely changed. So what's happened? Because they did exactly the same thing and they've got the same genetics. You see, the thing is that the vast majority of guys will put too much focus on their gym program. But the reality is that you spend 3% of your time in the gym and 97% of your time outside of the gym. And outside of the gym, these two men's lives couldn't have been more different. One of them only followed his nutrition plan when he felt like it. He stayed up late, he drank too much, he partied every weekend, he took drugs, he rarely checked in with his coach, and he made a load of excuses as to why it was harder or why he was different and he needed special programming and it was more difficult for him than anywhere else. Whereas the other took personal responsibility and accountability, fully committed to his goals, accepted that if he wanted this, he would have to sacrifice this, something else, and did everything that he possibly could to do and achieve what he said he wanted to do. And obviously these are extreme examples. Like, one of them is living like a monk and one of them is living like a complete degenerate. And the chances are you don't want to live like either of those guys. And the good news is you don't have to. But that's not the point. The point is, like I said, the vast majority of guys, and maybe you're in this camp, are fixating on the 3% and not the 97%. They're utterly convinced that because they're doing everything right in the gym and training as hard as possible, that everything else is just going to fall into place. But if you zoom out and look at this objectively and realize that even if you're training 5 times a week, not that you need to do that, but even if you are, you're still only spending 3, maybe maximum 4% of your time in the gym. So, of course, your training program is very important. But the habits and the lifestyle that you curate outside of the gym is what? Let me do that math. 32 times more important. Just think about that. It's 32 times. 90, I think I've done that right. 97 divided by 3. 32 times. It's 32 times more important. So go to the gym, absolutely. Train as hard as you possibly can. 3 times a week is more than enough. If you've got more time, go for it, go more. But don't spend the rest of your week acting like a complete dickhead. That's basically the message. And recognize that you can't train as hard as you possibly can and live like a dickhead and expect to get amazing results. Equally, I want you to understand that you don't need to live like a monk and tick every single box and be absolutely perfect. You don't need to follow a complicated routine, stick to a strict diet, sacrifice your social life. You don't have to do any of these things. Now, this is on a scale, right? The more you sacrifice and the more focused you get on one thing, the better the result and the quicker you're going to get the result. However, I understand that people have lives. They want quote unquote balance. That's fine. If that's what you genuinely want, you're obviously entitled to do that. I'm not telling you to live any other way. But what I am telling you is that you cannot cheat physics and biology. But I'm also saying that you don't need to be perfect. But if you live like a complete dickhead outside of the gym, it doesn't matter what you do in the gym. Now, I know plenty of guys who drink every weekend, they eat out with their missus, they are up late sometimes or they're up early because of their kids, and they still get amazing results. Is it hard? Hell yeah. But genuinely think about this. As a man, do you actually want an easy life? Let me reframe this slightly. When you're 3 or 4 days into a holiday, and I'm not talking like a boys' holiday where you're out in Ibiza boozing 5 nights a week, like a holiday with the missus or with the family or something. After 4 or 5 days, what's the emotion you would use to describe your feeling? Restless. Men aren't programmed to sit around doing nothing. As much as it sounds aspirational to have an easy life, I don't actually think many men would want it. I think you'd get very bored very quickly. If all of your problems disappeared, if you won the lottery and you had an amazing family and a perfect wife, or if you're gay, a husband, and your children were healthy and everyone was happy and you had no problems, your brain would find problems. You would start obsessing over weird shit. Look at what happens to these elites. They go crazy in very dark ways, right? So this idea that you want an easy life, yeah, I'm not saying your life should be hell and horrible and hard, but you don't necessarily want an easy life. And you need to realize that you're always going to have problems. As a man, you're always going to have problems. So don't try and remove the problems. Just focus on the problems that are the most important and the ones that you can control, and leverage the ones that you can't. If there's someone else who's better at you than doing something else, leverage it. But anyway, we're getting off topic. The point is, set your sights on the version of the man that you want to become. Think about the character traits that he would embody, that he would act, that he would have, and then start acting like him now. Because I've said this before, I'll say it again. You have to become the man before you do the thing. No one gets the body or gets the girl or makes the money or starts the business or does the YouTube and then becomes the man. They reach a point where they go, right, enough's enough, I have to do this. They have, a lot of the time without even realizing it, changed their identity. They've shifted their value system. Shift your value system, become the version of yourself now that you want to be seen as in the future. And then start acting like him now, because guess what? You are him. I'm not asking you to be someone else. I'm not asking you to copy someone else. I'm asking you to be a better version of yourself, which you are very capable of. Nail the basics, build consistency, respect the fact that you're always going to have problems and you'd rather have a problem that you can control. Double down and win. Simple as that, boys. It's Sunday today. Get up tomorrow, get out, attack the week, win. Have a good one.